Welcome to Uncaged, the Tiger Schulmann's podcast. I'm your host, Rick Ruffman, owner of Tiger, provider of all things Tiger Schulmann's. With me, as always, is Director of Social Media for Tiger Schulmann's, Danielle Schulmann.
Hi, guys.
We are joined today by someone who needs no introduction in the MMA world. He had an 8-3 record in the UFC, just signed a huge deal with the PFL, Hurricane Shane Burgos. What's up, Shane?
What's up? Thanks for having me.
Oh, our pleasure. So the PFL, first of all, everybody has heard of the UFC.
Yeah.
Some people even think MMA is the UFC. What is the PFL exactly?
The PFL is the Professional Fighters League. It's basically the number 2 promotion outside of the UFC. Obviously, everybody knows the UFC. It's the number 1 promotion right now, but nipping at their heels is the PFL.
And does it run like a tournament, or is it more, how is it?
So it's a little complicated to explain. It is a tournament style. So basically, you have 2 season fights, and based off those 2 fights you have, and this is, mind you, this is all within 8 months. You're going to have about 5 fights to win the whole tournament, so it's a lot. So the first 2 fights, they seed you. So let's say you get a first round finish. So you get 3 points for a win, 3 points for a first round finish. If you had a second round finish, you get two extra points. If you get a third round finish, you get 1 extra point. So a win is 3 points, and a finish, depending on the round, is extra points. Based off the seeding, so let's say I get 2 first round finishes. So that's 6 points for that first round, and 6 points for that. So I have 6 plus 6 is 12 going into the seeding. So the number 1 seed goes against the last seed, and all the way down the line.
See, I feel like people will like that more than just random matchups.
It's very structured, and as for a fighter, it's very appealing to me because I know when I'm fighting and I know who I'm fighting next. You know what I mean? There's no guesswork, and it's a clear-cut path to the title. You know what I mean? There's no guessing. Like, I win 5 fights, I win the $1 million tournament. That's it. There's no thinking.
So it's $1 million to the winner of the tournament.
Yeah.
And there's 1 tournament per year, or how many tournaments?
Yeah, it's
per
1
year?
season. It's called a season. So the season starts, I think, at the end of April, and then it ends in November.
And they signed you to what exactly?
To a 2-season deal.
2-season deal.
Yep.
And then you're free to do what you want.
There's stipulations in the contract, hard to explain, but basically yes and no.
Okay. And you've been real vocal. You know how many times I do that? And you've been very vocal. Can you believe that I'm doing this like this? And you've been real vocal.
Need some more coffee.
And you've been real vocal about. I did it
that was
right
a good one.
time. And you've talked numerous times about how much the UFC's meant to you, and talk about that.
Yeah, so it was not an easy decision. Obviously, like being in 8th grade and starting like just to fall in love with the sport, and then the UFC is why I fell in love with the sport. I mean, the UFC is the pinnacle of the sport. I mean, the sport is what it is because of the UFC, because of Dana White and all those guys. So I took a lot of pride in being a UFC fighter and staying with the UFC and calling myself a UFC fighter. Now I'm not a UFC fighter anymore, but it wasn't an easy decision to let that go. But when you look at the numbers, financially speaking, it is a very easy decision to make. And I got a family, and I have to provide for my families. And this is not an easy fucking sport. Sorry if I curse. This is a brutal sport, and you got to maximize your money while you can. And it's apples and oranges what I'm getting paid from the PFL to what I was getting paid in the UFC, and that's not saying anything bad about the UFC. It just is what it is.
Speaking of Dana, can we play the clip? I'm sure you heard it. That's amazing what he said. Can we play the clip that Dana talked about Shane?
What sort of mistakes did you feel were made that maybe that allowed him to slip away?
Well, he's not here. That was the mistake, you know. I like the kid.
Yeah.
Listen, do I think Shane Burgos was going to move on and be a world champion here and all this? No, but he's fun. He's fun. I like guys that come out and they bring it every single time they fight, and guys who want to perform, guys who want to win. Who has it more than that kid does, you know? So I'm happy for him. You know, I'm happy for him, and good for the PFL too. He's a great kid, and not just an exciting, fun fighter, but he's a great person. So, good for everybody involved in that.
Yeah.
We're not perfect, but we don't fuck up often. We don't fuck up often, but we fucked that one up.
Last one for me.
I think that's amazing what he said. First of all, and not to take anything away from what he said, but I did notice something that he said in there when I watched this. He said, did I think this kid was going to go on and fight for the title? No. And then I'm thinking,
Yeah.
you know what, if I'm Shane,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to fight for the
Of
title.
course.
Everybody-
That part kind of irks me a little bit, but he ended it on a better note, I'd say.
I don't think he was doing it
No, I don't think so either.
disrespectfully.
No, I don't
but
think
as
so.
far
obviously.
as far as you go, you want to be the champ.
Of
you
course,
want to be the best.
Who doesn't want to be? You get into the sport, not just be like, let me just take part in the sport and maybe have a UFC fighter too. So when I look back, I can say, yeah, I fought in the UFC. No, fuck that. Fuck that. I never wanted to come into
Totally.
the sport just to say I was in the sport. I don't want to be involved in the sport. I wanted to be the fucking champ. Who doesn't want to
Absolutely.
be?
By the way, this picture up here, I saw this on your dad's Instagram. This is the most badass picture I've ever seen in my life.
No, it's an awesome picture. And the PFL, when they posted that picture on their Instagram, like if you look at the likes compared to other pictures and other videos, like that one blew the fuck up.
That is like the greatest picture I've ever seen. I think. I'm
They
going to
made me
frame
look
it and put
good.
it in my house.
There's been other fighters that's left the UFC.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Has Dana ever done that about
No,
anyone
no,
else?
no. I got a lot of, like, my phone was blowing up after I announced that I was leaving to go to the PFL, and then when he said that, my phone was blowing up even more. Like, just everyone was like surprised that. Usually when guys leave the UFC, he's like, all right, yeah, doesn't really say anything about it. But for him to give me compliments and credit on my way out, and then she actually left me a voicemail that not a lot of people know about that, and said even nicer stuff. So I was like, I can't say anything bad about him. Like, you know, a lot of people shit on the UFC, and a lot of people shit on fighter pay and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I have a beautiful life. I love my life. I absolutely love my life, and the only reason why I live the life that I live is because of this motherfucker, Dana. He put his ass on the line back when UFC was bankrupt, and he went to his friends, the Fertitta brothers, and he asked for their trust and their money to give him money to start this UFC shit, which was going under. It was a failing business,
Right.
and he took it from that to and then they sell it for $4 billion. So whatever you want to say about fighter pay, it's not the best. Okay, it is what it is, but the life I live right now is because of what he did. You know what I mean? Like, because of what I did too. I'm not saying that I bust my ass. Obviously, I earned everything I had, but the sport wouldn't even be around if it wasn't for him.
Right.
That's
But
really
but
cool.
Shane, going back to what he said, what Dana said, and you know he never said that about anybody else. I think that's a testament to you. You know, like I've never heard anyone say a bad thing about you. My kids love you. I think you're a great kid. I mean,
Thank
it's really more about you being a great fighter. It's also about you as a person.
Yeah, that is like for him to end it like that too, saying not always a great fighter, he's a great person. That actually means a lot to me. Like I do pride myself in being a good person. I don't know. It just means a lot to me. Like I feel like giving back and being a good person, it comes back to you too. Like you do good and you get good back.
Right. And you're definitely getting good back. And you deserve it.
Thank you.
Let's go back. So you're 15, you start at Tiger Schulmann's.
Yeah, so I watched the sport when I saw it in like 7th or 8th grade. Just stumbled across it on Spike TV back when it was, I must have told the story like 15 times, like 50 times at this point actually. Stumbled across it on Spike TV. Matt Hughes picks up Carlos Newton, slams him on his head, knocks him out, wins the welterweight championship, and I'm like, what the fuck? Did he just powerbomb the guy and win a belt? And he really slammed him. He got knocked out. And I was like, what the hell is this? And I'm like, this is fucking awesome. So it was a UFC Unleashed like marathon, so there's just a bunch of episodes running. Obviously, I just binged them from that point on. Then the next week, Ultimate Fighter Season 2 was starting. I missed the Season 1 because I wasn't really into it. And started with that, and it just snowballed into a huge, like, love at first sight. Like, absolutely obsessed with the sport. And then I started ordering all the pay-per-views. Going to high school, I remember I used to, in my classes, I would name every pay-per-view from the first one I started watching all the way up till like where I was. And I was watching back in 7th or 8th grade, and I was in senior year just writing down as many as I can remember, like the main events and then the numbers for like UFC 66, UFC 67. But back to what you were saying, so I started watching it at 8th grade, 7th grade, and then my friend was like, oh, there's a local gym that does like a karate, kickboxing and jiu-jitsu. I was like, oh, cool, what's it called? He said, oh, it's Tiger Schulmann's. I was like, oh, that's like 10 minutes from my house. They were like, yeah, let's go. I was like, I thought it was like a karate school. I didn't know they did like jiu-jitsu and kickboxing. He's like, I checked the schedule, and I called, and he said they do a month trial. I was like, all right, let's go do it. So me and my two friends, we did it. It was a 30-day trial back then, and I did not miss one day. I was there 6 days a week, every single grappling class, every single kickboxing class. I was obsessed.
Wow.
I was like, I've loved other things, like this is fun, that's fun. Some other sports in school, like that's fun. But from the first class, I was like, that's not just fun. That's different. That's different. I'm obsessed now. Like this is like my crack.
You used the WWF term there, power bomb.
Yeah. That's because I used to be a WWF fan back in the day, and I saw a dude pick him up, power bomb, but in real life and knock the guy out, and I was like, what is this? So it was crazy to me.
And then you found out you had scoliosis.
Yeah. So I was training for I knew I had scoliosis from like 6th or 7th grade, and then but it went from 20-something degrees to 49 degrees. So I was training for like 8 or 9 months at that point, and like those first 8 or 9 months, like it was my drug. Like I needed to do it, obsessed with it. Then I found out not only did my scoliosis like change, it went from 24 to 49, but now it's only going to get worse. And if I don't get surgery, then my body's just going to crumble and be destroyed. So basically my spine was looking like a question mark. So I had to get 2 metal rods put in, $15,000 worth of screws. And that was 8 or 9 months after training. And then he told me, he said, you're probably not going to be able to train again. And I was like, okay.
The doctor told you that?
Yeah, I was like, okay, all right. I was like,
What did you think?
I started crying right there. I was like, first of all, being 16, I was 15, I had to get surgery. I was like, surgery is terrifying, right? Surgery for me, I'm 31, is terrifying. Being 15 years old, I was like, oh my God. And a spine surgery where if he messes
That's
up,
scary.
yeah, you can be paralyzed. So I was like, fuck. And I'm stressing out. And then he's like, you probably won't be able to train anymore. And I was like, I'm already crying about the surgery, man. Don't say that. I was like, we'll figure that out after. 'Cause in my head, I was like, I'm definitely training still. Like, I'm 15 years old. I'm an idiot. So then I get the surgery a week after my 16th birthday. And it was miserable, man. Like, I remember, like, the first day getting the surgery, like, I went out, and I wake up, and it's a pitch black room. I'm like, what the f? Then I knock back out. Then I wake up. Then my mom is there. Then in and out for, like, it was like a movie. It was weird. I was like, why can't I stay awake? I literally wake up. My mom is there. How you guys feeling? Knock out. And then I wake up. My mom, my godmother there. Pass out. I wake up in the pitch black room. Like, this is driving me nuts right now. And I can't. And then I finally wake up and I can't move. Like, my back hurts so fucking. And this is with the drugs too. So bad. I'm like stuck in the bed. Like, oh my God. So it was a week in the hospital. I didn't eat anything. I ate a bite of bread the entire time I was there and some ice chips. So at being 16 years old, I left the hospital with like 115 pounds.
Oh my God.
Like extremely skinny. Extremely skinny. And I was still 5'11" at that time. 115, that's like a twig.
I wasn't 115 pounds since I was like 10 years old.
Yeah, that's why I regressed. I went back to like middle school. I was like, what the fuck?
How was that on your parents?
My mom is like super, like she will never let you know something's bothering her. Like she'll hold it all in, which isn't the best thing, but she's like strong for all of us around. My dad is too, but so they held it together for me. But then I remember they had to teach me how to like, not teach me how to walk again, but I had to like do physical therapy on how to walk while I was in the hospital.
Wow.
And then I had to get in the car, like build up to get into the car so my dad could drive me home. And if he hit a pothole or something, I'm telling you, the pain was bad. Then I get home and then I'm stuck in the bed for how many days? I start doing homeschool. I'm taking showers. My mom has to give me a bath. I can't shower myself. I have a stool in the shower. I had to wear a freaking Speedo when my mom's giving me a bath. I'm sitting there like this, and she's just like bathing me. And I'm sitting there like, this is so like demoralizing. I feel so embarrassed right now. I know nobody's watching, but at the point, like my mom is rubbing my back with a loofah. Like this is weird. I was like, this is not it. So that was the week after. Then the week after, I was able to walk somewhat normal again. So that's 3 weeks after. And then 4 weeks after, I'm like, oh, I'm good. I'm back. I start skateboarding, riding bikes. I'm on the track. Swear to God.
4 weeks?
Maybe not even 4 weeks. Honest.
On a skateboard?
Yeah. Honest to God. I start. We had trampolines. Like me and my brothers. We had 2 trampolines though, because we would jump from one to the other. So we were those kids. Yeah. Like you see Ryan, all the flips he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because we had these 2 trampolines, like flipping from one trampoline to the other. So we were doing crazy shit. So. They're out there doing it. I'm like, I'm going out there too. So I go. But this is all while my mom and dad are at work. They were out. Yeah, they were at work, and I was able to do my own thing. So they were at work, and I'm on the trampoline and stuff. And then, man, I don't even want to say it was 3 months. I don't even think it was that long until I was back training.
Wow.
Yeah. Not smart though, so that's not even the end of the story. So I get back to the mat and I'm training. First day goes good. Second day I'm like, yeah, it's good. Let's do grappling now. Grappling. And shoulders on the legs pass, where his guy puts his arms under your legs, folds you in half and passes. He goes to do it to me, brings my knees to my shoulders, which isn't that crazy. It's not, but
Yeah, but after you just.
yeah, and my back hadn't been bent that way since the surgery. So he does that, and I'm like, I throw him off. I'm like, get off me. He's like, what happened? I heard that. I think every vertebrae from my tailbone to my neck cracked, like a deck of cards going.
Oh my God.
And I was like, get off me. I was just terrified to get up, and I stood up, and I'm like, I think I'm good. And I go like this. He looks at me, and I'm like, what the fuck? Every time, it's like everyone is cracking. I'm like, oh my God. He's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's not your fault. I'm like sitting there like I'm stressed out because I'm like, I definitely just fucked this whole thing up and I'm gonna have to get surgery. The doctor's gonna be so mad. I have to go see him in a couple weeks. I wasn't even supposed to do anything, let alone trampoline, skateboarding, and being on the mat. So then I go back to him and I get an X-ray and an MRI, and he's like, he's just so pissed. Not even pissed, just disappointed. He's like, because he did that work. I mean, he did a good job on the surgery, and then
So you reversed
so
of the stuff?
almost. So he looks, he's like, I told you not to do anything. I don't know why you would think going back to training this soon would. He's like, I told you. He's like, so I'm going to tell you, 1 month, do not do anything. When I say anything, I barely walk. Don't do anything. We're going to take another X-ray, another MRI, and we're going to see if the rod's fused, because they didn't. The rod's moved. Mm-hmm. So I was like, so my back was straighter, and it fucked me up doing that. So it's like, oh my God, I'm stressing out. I'm like, dude, I promise I'm not doing shit for a month. I promise you. So I didn't do shit for a month. I walked, and it was hard for me to be 16 years old. I was so active. I didn't do shit. And I went back, and he's like, all right, good news. The rods, they fused. You're good. It's like, all right, cool, go back to training. I'll see you later. Yeah, right back to training, yeah.
Is he the doctor
So 2
that...
months after back surgery, you
Like
go back
2 and
to training.
change.
Like I did knee surgery. It's
Yeah,
my knee. It's
yeah.
not gonna kill me,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
9 months to
Yeah.
go back. You went back in 2 months.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do not. I'm not. I'm not advocating for that. Like, if I was my mom and dad, no, like they didn't know what I was doing. They knew I went to training, so that was their fault. But they drove me to training, so I'm sure. So
Was he the same
but, like,
doctor that told you would never train again?
Yeah, yeah.
We should send him.
No, he
a
knows.
copy
He
of
knows.
the contract
He
to the
has me
PFL.
on his website, like saying like I went from not being able to train, like I'm a pro fighter now.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
so,
amazing.
Yeah, so that's my scoliosis story. That was a fun one.
I was watching you train a little while ago, and I said to my daughter, I said, Shane looks huge. Okay?
yeah.
And one day I was walking out of Tiger Schulmann's headquarters, and I said to you, I said, Shane, you look huge. And you were like, yeah, I'm big right now. And I said, how much do you weigh? You were like, I'm big right now.
Yeah,
and then I watched
my
you on a
answer.
podcast, and same thing.
Yeah.
You wouldn't say how
Yeah.
much. I guess you just don't like to say how much you weigh.
No, I don't. I don't like to talk about it because then everyone's like, "Oh, does he cut weight? He doesn't know how to cut." I do know how to cut weight. Obviously, I've never missed weight one time, but for the 145-pound weight class, yeah, I'm not a one. I do not weigh 145. Other than that, what is that? 5 minutes? We're on the scale when I make my flex. Yeah, 5 minutes. Like 2 or 3 times a year, I'm 145.
Okay, so let me ask you this way. You weigh in.
Yeah.
Okay, you're 145. You fight the next day, right? What do you weigh the next day? If you had to guess.
No, I do. I know. I'll say the lowest I've weighed after weigh-ins, like going to fight, the lowest is 165.
Wow.
So 145 to 165.
Wow.
The highest I've weighed is higher than that.
I knew you were going to tell the whole story.
What do you eat to get?
It's not about
To
eating,
that.
it's just rehydrating, because if I eat, like I've done it before, like when we used to fight at like Ring of Combat, and we go to Carmine's and eat all the fucking
Yeah.
junk and then feel like absolute shit after, yeah, your body is in shock. Like you can't eat a
Yeah.
bunch of shit. So after a weight cut, it's rehydrating and just a bunch of fluids and a bunch of carbs, because you need simple carbs just so your body can perform. Like if you eat a bunch of junk food, like you can celebrate the win, don't celebrate the weight cut. And I've learned that the hard way before.
I've heard that a lot of fighters develop an eating disorder.
Yeah.
How do you think that's affected you?
I just talked to a dietitian 2 days ago because I'm gonna hire him because I did 100% have an eating disorder. like I'm supposed to fight in the end of November, and all I'm thinking about now is like shit. End of November, that's almost 2 months away. Get your calories in now, Shane. Eat that now because you know you're not gonna be able to eat it in a couple weeks. So eat it. Then once I'm done eating, I'm like, what else can I eat? And then I go get my kids snacks and stuff for school. And
So you're a binge eater.
Yes. It's not.
What's your favorite thing to?
I don't have. That's how you really know I'm a real fat guy because I don't have a favorite. I have a bunch of favorites. Like I love sweets, but then I also love savory. Like I can't give you one favorite.
I used to throw the discus in college, and I was a serious binge eater, but I didn't have any weight limit. I was just whatever. So I would drive to Roy Rogers. Do you know Roy Rogers?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I would get like roast beef and cheese. Then I would go to Burger King.
Yep.
Like right after that. Like that's a disorder.
Yeah, I've done that before. So.
Have you done that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I remember my fight got canceled, an amateur fight back in the day. Like, I get the call, your fight's off. I'm like, it's 2 days to weigh-ins. Are you kidding me? Is it 100% off? Like, yeah. Like, there's no chance of me getting another opponent? No. All right, see you later. Go straight to Wendy's, Taco Bell, KFC. I get something from there, and there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Those? Like,
Yeah.
you don't like pick better restaurants?
It's quick. I need my quick fix. Like, you know what I mean?
Danielle hates fast food.
Yeah, it's nice.
Listen,
Not a
after
fast
I'm done
food
eating
girl.
it, I feel ashamed of myself. I feel disgusting. I feel terrible.
Really?
And then I go do it again the next day.
I never felt bad at all. I actually loved it. You've been to Vegas a lot of times.
Yeah.
Do you remember any restaurants or anything you liked out there?
The buffet at the Wynn is phenomenal. You been there?
Oh, I've been to the Wynn,
It's
many times.
phenomenal. Probably the best buffet I've ever had in my life. So
I just went to the one in Caesar's Palace.
I didn't go to
Have
that
you
one.
gone?
No, I've been
So
to
I wanted
a
to know
bunch.
which one was better.
Yeah, no, I haven't been to that one, but man, have you?
I've been there. Oh,
Both of
many
them?
times.
Both of them?
Yes.
So which one's better?
I think the Wynn.
Okay, yes, all right. It's like Willy Wonka with the frickin' desserts too, like right?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is crazy. I feel
Yeah.
like I feel like the
You
the
could
fat
eat. You
kid.
could eat until you're
Yeah,
in a coma.
and you do because it's a buffet, so you have to.
Danielle just went to one of our favorite restaurants out there.
Sushi Samba.
Have you been there?
No, never heard
Oh
of
my
it.
God.
No.
Oh, it's in Palazzo. You should go
It's
there.
just a sushi spot.
No, there's other things.
Okay.
But the sushi's great and
It's so good.
everything in
Well,
there
I'll
is
have
good.
to ask you for your recommendations next time I go.
That's a great idea. So, fight prep, is the weight cut the worst part of it for you?
Yes, and then everything else is over here. You know what I mean? Like the training and all that stuff gets hard on the body, but that dieting shit is just mentally like, bro, I don't want to count what I'm eating. I just want to freaking kick back, relax, watch a show with my kids, my wife. Like I don't want to have to think about. And then when I'm watching the show, I'm freaking sitting there hungry. I'm like, can't even focus on the show. I'm like just thinking about the food. So yeah.
I almost feel like that takes a toll on you as much as fighting does.
Yeah, like I said, that's why I developed the freaking eating disorder, I'd say, because after a fight, I eat till I'm sick, like, for 2 weeks. Like, when I say eat till I'm sick, I'm like, I'm eating. Okay, Stonewall, I'm about to throw up. Then I stop. And then I stop. And then the next day, same thing. Like, frustrating.
Who's this kid?
That's funny. I don't know. It's funny. They don't look like the same kid no more. That's my brother, yeah.
You know, he looks like a bodybuilder. So this is Ryan.
Yeah.
He's an amateur. He's
No, he's pro now.
pro. He's
He's
a
made it
pro.
pro, yep.
What's his record as a pro?
1-0 pro.
Oh, so he
He's
just started.
He just started. May 14th was his first fight.
And you're in his corner.
Yeah, of course. Hell yeah. He was in my corner for my last fight too.
He was in your
Yeah,
corner, right?
yeah.
What was it like having him in your corner?
It was cool. It was like I was like, all right, I should have had him in my corner. He's been in my, like when I fought for fight week, he's been there for the last couple, just for the entire week. So it's been like an easy transition for him to just be there, and it's so comfortable because he's my brother. You know what I mean? Like, it's like when you're cutting weight and shit, you can be crabby, you can be a dick, and not to say that it's easier to be a dick to your brother, but you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of easier to be a dick to your brother. And I tell him, like, I'm going to be a dick, so I'm sorry. Like, can you just forgive me? And,
Deal with me.
Yeah, for now. And he's fucking awesome with that. So, warming up for my last fight, I just sparred him. So I was like, this is nice. And he didn't hit me back either because I was obviously going to fight. But I just sparred him. He just threw some light stuff back. I was like, phenomenal warm-up.
How old is Ryan?
He's 21.
He's 21. You're
Yeah.
31.
Yeah.
And you have another brother.
Yeah, middle brother Jake. Yep.
Is he involved?
He's
at all,
actually, the
or-
funny part is, me and Ryan are first-degree black belts. Jake is a second-degree black belt.
Really?
Yeah, we both like Ryan failed his second-degree test. I never took the second-degree test, but Jake got it on his first try. I'm like, what? That kid was fucking good. He's taller than me, and he's like 200 pounds.
Is he the middle?
Did he
Yeah,
also
middle brother.
get his black belt before you too?
Yeah, they both did. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's funny.
yeah.
He
Did
looks
you
like
start
a.
training at the same time?
I started like 5 or 6 months before him. Once he saw me do it, he was like, I want to do it. And he started doing it. He picked it up like that. Yeah.
Can we pull up Shane the dad?
Oh God, gonna make me cry, man. I thought I was gonna cry because I said I got punched in the eye earlier. My eyes are gonna tear up, but that's my family.
We want you to
Yeah.
cry. We're gonna do a
Nah,
close-up.
Don't
of you
ask me any
crying.
serious questions, right?
That is Avery and
Yeah.
Grace
Yep.
and Veronica.
Yep.
So cute.
Yeah.
I think Avery is you. No? Are her
I don't
eyes you?
think.
Avery's on the right, right?
Yeah, Veronica. That's not the best picture of Veronica's eyes. Veronica has really big eyes. So if you've seen Veronica in another picture, maybe you'd think so. But everybody tells me that Grace is my twin. I don't see it in either. I don't see either of them. Maybe a little bit of resemblance, but I don't think they look like either of us.
Grace looks
I don't see me or Veronica. But everybody says that Grace is like your twin. I'm like, all right, I'll take it. But
How long have you been married?
7 years. Yeah.
And how long?
And I met her in Tiger Schulmann's too.
Oh, she was a student?
Yeah, I was her brother's instructor. And
Oh,
then,
wow.
Yeah, and then she started training, and that's how I met her.
That was in
I-
which school? Which,
Woodbury. Woodbury. Which
That's
is
where you started?
Yeah, New Windsor now.
and that's where you are still?
Yeah,
Yeah.
now my sensei is my kid sensei.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah, I was like, this is kind of weird.
That's so
She just
cool.
got her high weight belt the other day too, so I was like, this is so strange.
Yeah, that is.
So when you met, how did it go? We want to hear the details.
I mean, I knew her because she would pick up my brother and stuff like that. And then she started taking classes, and then I don't know. I could tell, like, I was like, obviously, I like her. I was like, I think she likes me too. I can't know. And then she had to cover. I was away at the school, and then she actually, Sensei asked her to cover for me. So she's like, and I was cool with her dad. I knew her dad. Her dad was one of my main training partners back then. He'd always hold pads for me, so me and him were cool. And then she like got her dad's phone and got my number from his phone. And it's like, I'm gonna text Shane, like, just to try to like ask him like, what do I do for teaching or for helping? So then that's how
Was
that
that
started.
her real intention?
No, definitely not. Yeah. And then we went on our first date, and then we literally spent every day.
What was your first date?
We went to get ice cream at Belleville. Have you heard of Belleville?
No.
It's this crazy ice cream spot that has like an insane view overlooking Warwick. So we went there.
That's
And,
cute.
yeah, it was cute, but she actually took me, so I'm a little embarrassed about that. Yeah,
She took you to
yeah
get
I
ice
paid
cream?
for it, but she took me. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Watch, because she was driving.
Yeah.
You weren't driving it.
No. I mean, I was driving. She just drove me. I was like, this is weird. All right, cool.
That's so cute. And then you hung out every day after
Yeah,
that?
yeah. It was
And then
like,
that was it. The rest is history.
yeah. Now we got 2 kids.
Are you? Is that it? You're done?
Yes.
2?
2 is a lot.
I thought I was done
Listen.
too.
Yeah, man. I've had 2 is enough. The one is in kindergarten, so she's gone for most of the day now, which is weird as shit. Like when you go, like, I'm used to seeing my kid 24/7. Now I'm like, whoa, you're leaving? You're gone for 8 hours, and I can't call you or nothing. Like I don't know how you're doing. Like, so dropping off at school for 2 weeks ago, me and Veronica were a mess. Like she was crying the whole time. I was like, I need to do something. It was my day off of training, so I was like, I'm going to the gym. So I went to the gym. I started working out. I come back and I'm like, fuck. I'm just sitting there thinking, like, is she okay? Is she nervous?
Oh.
Does she miss us? I was like, so I get a puzzle and I start doing a puzzle. And I'm like, just do something to keep my mind busy. And Veronica starts doing it too. And I'm like, this is crazy. Then she gets off the bus. She's like, I loved it. I was like, thank you, God. So, huge relief.
That's cute.
When you finish the puzzle, you can just start eating to keep yourself busy.
Yeah.
What about a boy? You don't want a boy?
Every fighter wants a boy, right? But no, I'm good. I honestly, when we were having the second one and we did like the gender reveal, and we saw we were having a girl, I wanted another girl because I remember just my Avery being 2 years old and just how freaking cute she was when she first started saying daddy and stuff like that. Now Grace is getting almost to that age, so I'm like, 2 girls is cool. And like your dad has 2 girls too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm cool. 2 girls, I'm good.
I was just going to say, there's another fighter we know that never had a boy.
Yeah.
Wait, but I want to know about the engagement too. Like, how did that go?
So the engagement, there's a picture on my Instagram too. I don't know if you can pull that up, but oh, there you go, yeah. So we go to the beach. We actually just went we haven't been doing it, but it's usually every year. She has a huge Italian family. Like her grandma had 8 kids and like 32 like first cousins. So we all go to get a beach house in Lavalette, and so we all went, and I knew I was gonna do it there. I was like, 'cause her whole family's there. She loves her family. She wants her whole family there, and then my family was there too, because they obviously knew I was gonna do it. So my dad was like, why don't you guys just say, like, let's take a family picture, and I'll take it for you guys. So my dad's saying he's gonna take the picture, and I was like, all right, that's a good idea. And then when he does the family picture, I'm just gonna get down on one knee. So we all get in, like the entire family's there. It's like, I don't even know how many. There's a video, but there's like 50 of us, all on the beach. And then it's like, all right, guys, ready? 1, 2, 3. And I go in front of everybody. I'm like, Veronica. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I get on my knee and say, will you marry me? Yeah.
Were you nervous?
Hell yeah, I was nervous, man. I was like this. I was like, oh my God, I'm stressing out right now. I was like nervous. Yeah, I was even nervous asking her dad.
How's nerves compared to going to a fight?
It's completely different because I don't really get nervous for fights, which is a surprise to a lot of people. I really don't get that nervous. Like, I get a little bit jitters and I'm like, oh, all right, that's it, it's gone. But for that, I was nervous. And then, like, I proposed to her dad, too. Like, I got down on one knee and said, will you be my father-in-law? Like, when it was just me and him.
Oh, wow. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, me, him, and her mom. Yeah. So, but even for that, I was nervous. Like, yeah.
You know that I carried around an engagement ring for like 3 months. Not because I was afraid to propose, but I was afraid to ask
The dad?
my wife's father's permission.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. That's stressful.
And then finally, her cousin, they were all at her brother's house. She grabbed me and threw me in a bedroom, and then grabbed him and threw him in a bedroom and shut the door with just us in the room.
There you go.
And
So you had no choice but
so
that.
I was forced to. But I'm glad she did it.
There you go. Yeah.
If you didn't have that beard in that picture, you'd look like you're 13.
Oh my God, I know, man. I couldn't
Right?
grow up. Yeah,
You look like a little kid.
Could barely grow a full beard.
How old are you there?
22, 23.
Love that.
20,
Oh, wow.
23.
Yeah, the picture on the right's amazing.
Yeah.
You guys look great.
23 for that picture.
You've been around Tiger Schulmann's so long. How's your relationship with Xian Ran and Tiger and all of them?
We're tight. Like, they've known me since I was 16 years old. I met them because I started training when I was 15 years old. Then I started coming here maybe 16 or 17. And now I'm 31, so they've known me for 13, 14 years. So it's like I don't even know how to put it. Like, it's family. Like, I don't have to, when you just walk into your mom's house, something like that, your cousin's house, your brother's house, close to wherever cousin.
Yeah.
Just
Comfortable.
what's up? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, except for your dad. Your dad still scares the shit out of me. Yeah.
Wait, so we need to
She-
hear
yeah,
about that.
all right,
Why?
So Xian Ran, Ray, everybody else, I'm like, oh, what's up, guys? What's up? Hanging out. Xian Tiger, I'm like, my shirt's tucked in, like making sure I'm staying attention, make sure like I'm on my P's and Q's, and like, I don't know, he's just the most intimidating man I ever met in my life. He really is. 100%. 100%. It's not even a close number 2. I got.
That's funny.
You better make sure he watches
So what?
this.
Yeah.
I want to hear like the differences in their personalities when coaching you, Tiger, Xian,
No,
and
so
Ray.
obviously there's definitely a difference. So Ray is like the jokester. He's always joking around, but he can be serious, and he's very particular with little things. Like, you're not twisting your hips, you're not turning your punch over, little things like that. Shane Schulmann is like, don't take this the wrong way, guys, all right? He's not, I don't want to say soft, because he's not soft, but he's softer than his brother. And I don't want to say motherly, but he's like, he's more like comforting, if you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
like that. And then we got, so I'll leave it at that. And then we got your dad, who's like most intimidating man in the world, by far. Not even a number 2.
So Xian Ran is like your mother.
No, he's not like my mom.
He's like warm, like.
Like,
How about technically?
no, and then that's
Like,
what
the difference in which they teach you technically.
Yeah, and then like there's just a dynamic, and then he's very particular with game planning and doing things the right way. Not just he's not just gonna come for me like if I'm doing something wrong. He's like, all right, it's gonna be okay. All right, no, he's gonna make sure I'm doing it right. But I'm saying the way he approaches it is a little
Right.
bit different than Ray and Xian
So that's
Schulmann.
kind of
Xian
like their
Tiger.
vibe, but like, what about their coaching style? Like,
I mean,
is
they're
there
all-
differences with that?
No,
too?
they're all very similar in the way they coach, which they've been together for.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the brothers have been together forever, and Ray's been there for
Yeah.
I don't even know. You probably know.
Forever,
Yeah,
yeah.
forever too. So
Yeah.
I think that it's a good blend, and it's a good mixture of the different personalities, but the same kind of style of coaching.
Okay, let's fast forward 10, 15 years. Avery comes up to you, Daddy, I think I want to be a fighter.
10 years should be 15, so I'm like, well, you can't legally yet, so that's good. But
20 years.
20 years should be 25. I bet that's too late then at 20 years. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so she
Okay,
tells me
15 years.
All right. So she tells me that, first of all, she would have to tell me that before she told her mom that, because her mom would shut that down so quick, it wouldn't even be funny. Like, Veronica barely is able to watch me fight, so I can't imagine her watching our kids fight. So now, would I want her to do that as a career? I don't think so. I would advise against her doing it as a career. But if she really fell in love with it and had a passion for it, I can't. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna tell her. Like, my parents thought it was a crazy idea too, and look, I was able to build a life off of that crazy idea. So I would never want to just. If she has a passion for it and I really see it and I see potential in her, then I'll support her. I'll support her in whatever she does. But I won't. I don't think it's.
What
I wouldn't
you
advise.
want
I wouldn't
her to
advise
do.
it. Yeah, I would be like, just. Yeah.
But
Maybe
you
we could
do
just
take her to train, though.
Yeah, she trains twice a week. Yeah.
You would think that's important that she's training at least?
She has to train.
Has to train?
Yeah, she has to train.
Why?
Because she's a girl. And in today's age, I mean, if she was a boy, I would have same shit. Like, you needed to learn, you 100% need to know how to defend yourself. That's one of the, I think that's the most important life skill, is just being confident walking on the street. Especially for a girl. I mean, you're a girl. You can defend yourself. Yeah. Like,
Since I was born.
yeah, I cannot imagine if she didn't know what to do and somebody, I didn't want to think about that, so yeah.
So Shane, your first UFC fight was how old were you?
25.
So 25, when did you win your first fight of the night? Did you?
26, my second fight, yeah.
So you're 26, you win fight of the night, $50,000. What does a 26-year-old kid do with $50,000?
Save it, because I had a kid already. I didn't bought a house, so like, yeah, no. I'm very smart with my money when it comes to that stuff. Like, even being, like, when I won my UFC debut, like, looking back, like, chump change, fucking chump change. Like, what I made, but whatever, it set me up. But I bought a truck after that. It wasn't the craziest truck, but I really wanted a truck, so I was like, I got a truck after that. And then, so when I got my first fight of the night, I was just chilling. I was like, letting that money stack, because I lived in a one-bedroom apartment at the time, small 700 square foot apartment. I'm like, I'm not touching this. It's just staying right there because I need to get a house. This shit is way too small. And when you get a baby in a 700 square foot apartment, it's basically like a 700 square foot playpen. Like, her shit is just everywhere. Yeah.
So if they were all like you, they would be a lot better off. I think a lot of guys go and they just
Yeah.
spend
That's
whatever they make.
That's where I can say, like, if I got to the UFC and I had not had a family, like, when my first fight, I had a baby on the way. So that, like, I mean, like, it set me up. I was already married. I had a baby in the way. I can see if I didn't have a baby in the way and I wasn't married and I was single, like, just being stupid with my money, I can definitely see that. Like, easily people doing that.
You said it was chump change. I think from what I've heard you talk about, I think you might have done that fight for free if they wanted you to.
I would have 100% done that fight for free, 1,000,000%.
Albany, right?
Yeah,
It was in Albany.
It was in Albany, yeah, and it was on short notice, 2 weeks notice. That's probably my favorite UFC fight, honestly. The actual fight, not so much. I could have did better, I think. I still won the fight, but it was just weird because I had a CFFC fight scheduled before that, and it got canceled like a week before. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my God, I was gonna make like $4,000 for that fight. I was like, oh, I got a baby on the way. $4,000 really would have helped. I was like, fuck, man, this is gonna be. I remember crying because I was just so disappointed that that fight fell through. Mm. But I was in shape, and then fast forward 2 weeks after that, after the fight falls through, somebody fighting in Albany in my weight class gets pulled out of his fight. So this guy needs an opponent.
Wow.
I'm 7-0 with 7 finishes. I have a baby on the way. I'm like, it has to be me. It has to be me. I live an hour and a half away. It has to be me. And then I get the call, and it was me.
And you were at the school, right? When that happened?
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah, so I was
That's
at
pretty
school.
cool.
Yes, I was teaching. My brother was on the mat. My middle brother, because he was my size, so I would train with him a lot. And my phone's ringing. And I saw it was from my manager, so I answered, and I'm like, "You got it. All right, I'm gonna go finish this class. All right. I hang up. I start training. Like I was teaching the class. I start jumping in the class and start training because it's 2 weeks away. I got to freaking cut weight. Got to lose weight. And then I'm starting grappling with my brother. He's like, "Why are you going so hard?" It's like, "'Cause I'm fighting the UFC in 2 weeks." He's like, "What?" I said, "You see me on the phone?" He's like, "No way."
That's so cool.
Yeah,
So
it was cool. It was
What?
really cool.
So back then, I mean, you don't have to say exactly, but what are they paying?
I'll tell you.
Kids
Straight.
back.
You can Google it. That's why I'll tell you. I don't care. 10 and 10. You make 10,000 to show, 10,000 to win.
Wow.
After taxes, it's not that much
Wow.
money. Yeah.
And you won a decision, right?
I won a decision. Yeah.
Being the kind of fighter you are, winning fight of the night, being in crazy knockdown brawls, how does your wife handle that?
She doesn't really watch the fights, honestly. She's there. She's at every fight. She's only missed one fight. That was because our kid was like 2 weeks old.
She watches like this?
Yeah. No, she doesn't even watch like that. She just sits there with her head down, and then she usually has my friend's girlfriend next to her, like
Wow.
telling her how's it going and stuff like that. I can only imagine, because I know what kind of fighter I am. So, and I would hate that if I was in her position, because you have zero control in that position. Like you can't do anything to help him. There's nothing you can do. So, like even watching my teammates and my brother fighting, like that is stressful for me. I'm like nervous, way more nervous in my own fights. So if they were the fighting like the way I was fighting, I would be shitting my pants, especially if I was her. So she handles it like a champ, obviously, because she's been handling it. But she's been supportive the whole time. Like she knew since from the jump, like this is what I wanted to do, and she believed in me. Like I knew she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and I wanted to make that for her, make her one. So the only way I could do that is to make it happen.
She probably feels it like you're feeling it. If you're getting hit
Yeah.
or you're getting...
She's reacting to it and stuff. No,
Yeah.
she's not watching
That's
it,
why
so
she doesn't watch.
yeah.
What about through your fight camp, like with your training and
Yeah,
you
like-
being cranky and stuff?
She completely
food.
understands. So yeah, that is the hardest part, because like the fight camp takes so much of a toll on my family. That's why every time when I'm doing the fight, we go on vacation right after. We do something after, because it's not fair to, like, especially my kids, like they don't understand. Like
Yeah.
the little one, but even the older one, she's 5. She doesn't know why daddy doesn't have energy to play, or daddy is cranky right now. Like, so I hate that part about the sport. I hate that shit. I don't want her to ever look back and think, oh, my dad was cranky, like, you know what I mean? Like that shit.
Yeah.
Even if it was only one time and she doesn't think about it ever again, it's like, I don't want her to have that in her head ever.
What's
So-
an example of
Yeah,
a...
tell them.
What's an example of something you eat during the whole day while you're dieting? What does it look like, what you eat?
I eat a lot of grilled chicken. I eat a lot of grilled chicken. That's probably the number one thing that I eat.
Egg whites and oatmeal in the morning?
Yeah. Egg whites or oatmeal with the protein shakes. I just try to mix it up so it's not the same thing every time. But
Is it low carb or?
no.
No.
You can't do low carb because this sport is way too intense to do low carb. I've done low carb before, and it's the worst feeling ever trying to do low carb and then go try to spar somebody.
No, you
Like
can't.
you physically almost can't do it.
Yeah.
So no low carb diets.
Okay, so we have questions. You're gonna answer with like one of your team members. It could be a coach or it could be anyone that you train with.
Okay.
And just tell us that person, the answer, and why you feel that way. Okay?
Okay.
You ready?
Simple enough.
Let's go. Who would you want if you had a 3-on-2 on a street fight?
Like
You
I'm
got
the 2?
You're the 2. You have to pick one other person to be with you.
All right, that's easy.
Who?
Lyman. Do I need to explain why? Yeah, I think everybody.
I guess we could just put a picture on
Yeah,
the screen.
exactly.
like,
You just
this
flash a
is
picture of
why.
Lyman,
Okay.
and then exactly, he's into guns, he's into knives, he's jacked, he's huge. Yeah.
Scary looking.
Yeah. Full of tattoos. Yeah, Lyman. Next.
Who from all your teammates do you have to drag off the mat?
Julio. Easy answer again. Like Shion just told him, like, you're doing too much. Like, and he just got his like training schedule changed because I think he's like training so damn much. When he gets a fight, especially, like he's just like go. He's a fucking cardio machine. He can
Yeah.
go for days. So that's an easy one, Julio.
Who's the most frustrating to spar?
Oh man, that's a hard one. I mean, there's a couple. They all have different frustrating styles about them. Like Julio is
All right, give me
very
two.
Julio's very frustrating. One, because he's a lefty, so automatically him being a lefty completely changes things. You sparred before, so you know somebody changes their stance, it's completely different.
Yeah.
So him being a lefty sucks. Then he's a Golden Gloves champion. He has fucking insane combinations and cardio, so that makes it hard.
I've sparred Julio too before. It's like, I mean, obviously it's no comparison, but I can't even touch him.
Yeah,
he's like moving around and he's like on the floor here and like hits me on the top of my head. I'm like a monkey. I'm like, what is this?
But so that's. But then that's not to say like I got so many like Rob like. Nobody even talks about him because he only has a couple fights. He's not in the UFC yet. He's going to be in the UFC. He's 2-0, 3-0. But he's got insane cardio too, and he throws crazy combinations. And then you got Solomon. Solomon's so freaking explosive. And they got Chisano with his fucking laser jab. It just will not stop jabbing. I can keep going. I can keep going. I got good sparring partners.
Who from everyone can you not take to a haunted house, or would be the funniest person to take to a haunted house?
I'm thinking Solomon because of his reactions, but I'm also thinking like Lewis might be funny too.
What would his reaction be? Solomon.
I'm just picturing how he would react, like with the shrieks and shit. So I think that would be pretty funny. But I think Lewis would actually be hilarious too. But maybe Jimmy too, because Jimmy might. You take it like a haunted house, as in like a real haunted house, or like a walk-through haunted house.
Like the walk-through haunted house.
Jimmy might be fun because he might accidentally punch somebody. So accidentally.
Okay, there's a zombie apocalypse. The world's being taken over. Pick 3 teammates.
Ooh, Lyman. Easy, because have you seen his truck too? I mean, he's got the guns, he's got the knives. His truck is like souped up. It's like ready for zombie apocalypse. Oh, Julio's another good one because he doesn't get tired. Do you ever see Zombieland?
No.
You never seen Zombieland with the rules, and like one of them was like be in shape, so you can keep running the whole time. And, and then it was like a video of a fat guy running from the zombies, and the zombies catch him.
So he can like go and get all the weapons of the people that died and bring them back.
Exactly. So Julio, and then third, I'll take my brother because he's like a super outdoor nature guy. So I feel like if there's a zombie apocalypse, we're gonna be outdoors a lot, so he's good with that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Who do you want with you stranded on desert island?
Probably my brother, again, because being on stranded on a desert island, you're probably going to be hungry, right? So I'm going to be crabby, I'm going to be a dick, so I can be a dick to him. He's already used to me being a dick, so I'll go with that.
Okay. If you were going to switch lives with someone for one day from here,
a teammate.
Who would it be? Teammate, team member, coach, anyone?
That's a hard one. Your dad, he lives in Florida. He's pretty nice. He drives a nice car too. Probably your dad for a day.
Tiger Schulmann for a day.
Yeah, I'll do that for a day.
Come here and train everyone, intimidate everyone.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be a little role reversal.
Then maybe you wouldn't be intimidated the next time. And you could learn the inside.
Exactly. So I would go with that one.
Who has the best style? Fashion.
Oh. Solomon. Probably say Solomon.
Solomon.
Yeah, Solomon. If I can't say myself, I'll say Solomon. I give him. He got some swag.
So.
Shane, that was awesome. It was such a pleasure talking to you. You're a freaking great guy. I see why everyone feels the way they do. You deserve all your success, much success in the future, and I can't wait to see you continue.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys for the time.
Thank you.